Hello everybody and welcome again to my channel. Rasa the Dancer is here and it's Wednesday. That means we're gonna be talking fitness. Now, we're not gonna do hardcore training today. Instead, I thought, isn't it useful to know how to warm up before actually doing hardcore training or even just going out and social dancing? So I will give you my 5 kind of favorite ways to warm up your body, stretch it, and be ready to go hardcore exercising or even dancing. But before we do so, subscribe! We will start with running on the spot. I love this one. It's really good because it's not intense to actually harm you, but it's intense enough to really get that blood flowing to your body and warming it up for the more extreme exercising. So it will look something like this. Maybe do it in private. So when you run on the spot, it's basically like jogging. You start nice and gentle, but you do it on the spot. You're nice and bouncy, the knees are relaxed, the arms are relaxed, and you of course need to constantly be breathing and not talking like I am trying to do right now. Now the good thing about this one, you start nice and gentle, and maybe after 1 minute or 2, you can actually speed up a little bit. When you speed up, actually I feel warm already. So it's really an amazing one to get that blood flowing. And again, you can increase it and slow it down. And actually going through different phases of this running man situation, you actually get even better warm up, and your heart is going through a little bit more of a conversation like, oh my God, am I running? Am I not? Am I running? Am I not? And that's really good for your body. So that's my number 1 for you to warm up. And now let's go to jumping jacks. Jumping jacks are so popular anywhere you're gonna go, whether it's the gym, whether it's a multi-training, anywhere. They always do jumping jacks. So I do them too. I like it. It's not too intense on my knees as some of the warm-up exercises that have been suggested around. And I want to make sure that all of my warm-ups are actually warming everything up without straining my knees or my back. Does that make sense? So it will look something like this. The arms are gonna be going up and down like that. Same time, the legs will be opening and closing. And we're matching. If the legs are opening, that's when the arms are actually going up. If the legs are closing, that's when the arms are going down. Let's try, I guess, together, or just me and you can watch me. So we start jumping. The important bit, I think, when you jump is to make sure that your toes, well, if you look at my slippers, I wanted to make sure I am on a soft surface. So my toes are actually pointing outwards. So what we don't want to do is this. This is really uncomfortable for our legs. So it's always pointing outwards when we jump. And the arms, they have to be relaxed. Sometimes when we start doing something, we tense up so much, and actually every pull upwards could be your potential injury. So we want to have nice and relaxed arms and just add a little bit of a soft knee situation, and that will warm up your knees and the shoulder blades and the arms. And then you can go crazy on your other exercises. This exercise, warm-up exercise, I call it 2-in-1 because it starts as one and it becomes the other one, but it's the same position. Bear with me. We open our legs pretty wide. Our toes again are pointing outwards. We need to lock the knees, and we're gonna start moving only the hips side to side. Just like that. The important bit, I click, I'm not sure whether you can hear it, but I click everywhere. It's kind of enjoyable. Anywho, so we're holding our upper body because we don't want to actually swing the upper body. So upper body is completely tight and we are extending the hip. And that is the moment where we stretch the hip at the same time as warming it up. Then we do exactly the same motion, but instead of using the hip, we're now bending our knee to one direction and then another. Again, keeping everything still and just shifting weight from one to another. It's a fantastic way to not only warm up your knees now a little bit more, but also we get a bit of a stretch right here in the calf, and that is fantastic before an exercise or the dance. Anytime I go out dancing, I always do our hip warm up right here and also bending the knee. Really, really useful. Try it. Now let's do a front bend. It's so important because a lot of the people might even warm up, but they wouldn't include anything stretch base. So their warm up would still not mean anything good when you start exercising. So this exercise right here is not just going to be a little bit of a warm up, but also a little bit of a stretch. It's fantastic. We're going to raise our hands up. The knees are going to be locked. Our feet, as always, turn slightly outwards. And then we're going to start going down. Once we are down, we're going to breathe in, breathe out, and then start coming up. Again, we're going down. We breathe out, and we are coming back. You will feel, because you're not actually doing a deep stretch, because it's a warm-up, once you're there, and after the breathing in and out, when you are coming back, you will notice that your back is warming up and your legs are engaged. Because when you need to come back immediately without support of this part of your body, really you can't. So you end up really using those legs, and then the back as well has a nice stretch. Really nice one. Give it a go. You will see everything down there working just right. Last one, we're gonna stretch the sides, but it's a warm-up stretch. So remember, we don't want to deep stretch it. We don't want to go into the side stretch and stay there. We just want to go from one side to another nice and gently to give it a warm-up, but a bit of a stretch at the same time. Now, this is what's gonna happen. My right arm is gonna go behind my back. My legs are open as most of the positions. Locked knees, toes pointing outwards. The other arm is going upwards, and now I will be bending. As soon as I'm bending to the side, I'm not staying there. I'm warming up. I'm exchanging the arm, and I'm going to the other side. I'm coming back again, exchanging the arm, and going to the other side. And you want to do that more or less, like maybe 10 on each side. You can wait a little bit, do something else, and maybe do it again. But it's amazing because a lot of people don't realize our side muscle is so big. It comes from the hip, goes all the way towards the shoulder blade. So if this part of your body is not warm, it can actually injure like everything you've got, basically. And if you use it with a bit of a stretch, that also means that you get a bit elasticity going here as well. Now, from behind, I'll show you just one more time so you could see because of the arm placement. It's gonna go back behind, and you're gonna go side, come back immediately, exchange, side, come back immediately, and exchange. There you go. And there you go. You got your warm up and you got a bit of a stretch there situation. And really, really, I would appreciate if you use it. I would like you to always stay healthy and be able to dance or do any other things. So always warm up, even if you're going dancing and you didn't have time to warm up. If you come onto the dance floor and you just do at least a little bit side to side stretch like I showed you, it just makes a huge difference. But if you're a hardcore training person, like I am, you gotta do it all the time, and including the little quick stretches, and of course, stretching afterwards as well. Enough of me waffling. I will leave you with a kiss, and make sure to subscribe.